So I remove all of the straw from my male rabbits' boxes. I did this yesterday because they kept pooping and peeing in their box with all of the straw. And the straw is meant as bedding. It's not meant for them to eat because the straw doesn't have a whole lot of nutritional value. But hay, on the other hand, does. And hay is what they usually would eat. I don't have hay right now, but I do have some other types of grasses that I can give them. But I want to give them this material so that they can sleep in it and stuff without eating it, so that they can insulate and stay warm. So let me show you the two rabbits and how they're doing. So this is Castor. Look at him. He's cold. I'm pretty sure he's cold. Because like his eyes are all squinting. Let's feel his feet here. He's not shivering or anything, but you can tell that he's not as energetic and he doesn't want to move around a whole lot like he usually does. And there is a bunch of ammonia in here. Like you can smell it. And it smells horrible. And he just like, he's peeing all over his box here. I think that might be a problem. I might be able to just remove his box, mainly because there's cover from these boxes on the sides here. So he technically doesn't need a box. Water is frozen again here. I'm going to replace this soon. His food is here. My main problem is him because he's a young buck and he doesn't know what to do. And he's like spraying pee everywhere. And his entire enclosure and area is just full of ammonia. It's so weird. So because he's a younger buck, his fur is not as thick and developed. And this would be his very first winter. We head over here. We got Mr. Totoro, and he's all curled up, and it looks like he's fine actually. He's just curled up, and he's got like incredibly thick fur. Even the breeder said that she has never seen such thick and dense fur. So she was really like impressed with his fur. And so yeah, he is incredibly warm. You can feel how warm he is. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't pee and poop in his box. So like, you see how his box, there's no pee like in the box. There was only pee downward. It was pee on like all the straw and stuff like that. But you literally can see pee everywhere. Just like it goes up to here. Like what the hell? Why is there like pee sprayed up here on this door? That's just ridiculous. Like he's just spraying like crazy, doing unnecessary stuff. And we've got Lila here. Ooh, here's Lila. She's got more like fur and stuff right there. I don't know when she's going to like start having babies. There's a bunch of fur here. I think she needs more insulation. There's a bunch of fur in that hole right there. And so I think what she's doing is she's just making a nest. She's getting ready to give birth. I know it. Yeah, she is warm. She is very warm. Like her straw down here is warm. And there's hair mixed up in it and she's warm. So I really don't even know. I think I can try to give him some of the grasses and just leave it in there. I don't really even know. I'm gonna give him this and he can use this as insulation or something. I don't even know. I'll just use this as his food. Because he's not coming down to eat his food anymore for some reason. He's not coming down here to eat this as much as he used to. So I'm just gonna leave this here and maybe he'll spend some time like coming down here, eating and pooping here. And then maybe if he really wanted to, he can take this. He can bring that in there so that he can use it as bedding. But I'm not really even sure. But I need to get his water done here. Raising rabbits like this in the cold is definitely not really easy. As far as my setup goes, I think I really want to keep rabbits. And I don't want to end up just, you know, spending all this time building this entire like rabbit hutch. I spent a lot of time, money, effort into this, and it's nice, it's big, it takes up a lot of space. And so I want to be able to keep rabbits for a lengthier period of time. I may consider over the spring and maybe even during the summer to get something set up so that they can have a colony set up in around the shed. Maybe even in this section right here, I can put hardware cloth down into the ground and dig out this spot here and then create burrows and stuff like that for them in this spot, and have everything just lined with like chicken wire or something, just so that other predators and stuff can't get in, and it will be a fully complete enclosure for the rabbits. And so that way they can have like more of a colony, communal sort of space where they kind of get together and do their thing. And I'll get babies whenever I get babies. It'll just automatically happen, and they live happier that way too. But right now, the best way for me to raise rabbits right now at the moment is to set it up like this. Because I wasn't really interested in getting a colony setup thing gone. But I may consider it a little bit more now that I'm running into these challenges. I do know there's another setup that I could possibly do. And it is where I just create wire cages all around, no wood at all, and they just hang up in an area. And so I think that is another thing that I could possibly do. So I may consider doing that. Here's all the ice. There you go. I'm gonna end up with like a pile of ice down here. Warm water for Totoro. There we go. Some warm water for Castor, and warm water for my mama. There you go, Lila. And I'll give him a bunch of straw here. Or not straw, I mean, this is grass. Hopefully you sit here and eat and poop right here. Stop pooping and peeing in your box, please. I also am planning on giving Lila some more space by cutting out this section right here and putting her food elsewhere over here. So that way she can run around in this area. I'm gonna pull everything out of here, but I'm not entirely sure just yet. So I must say, wanting to raise rabbits and actually doing it, completely different things. And now that I'm actually in it and doing it, it feels a whole lot different than I imagined. And the entire reason that I'm even doing this is because I'm trying to learn what kind of animals I want to raise. Like, I wouldn't know any of this. I wouldn't run into these problems if I never like actually did it myself. Because you can watch other people's videos and stuff like that. They'll share like all the pros and cons, but it's their pros and cons. It's not your pro and cons. And so in order to find out your own pros and cons when it comes to raising animals, you have to do it. You got to do something in order to learn. You can't watch videos and assume that you'll know exactly how it's going to be. And so right now, I'm on the fence of wanting to keep these rabbits because I've spent so much time, effort, and money and have so much invested into it already. I am gonna follow through and do as much as I possibly can because I do want a sustainable meat source. And this is probably the best sustainable meat source that I can think of for my own situation, right? So for my own personal situation, this is the most sustainable because they're very quiet animals. You can have a male and a female, and then they'll breed and make babies. And the mother will take care of the babies up to a certain point, and then you separate them, and then you just feed the babies. And that's all you need to do. With chickens, right, you need to have a rooster, which makes a lot of noise, and I can't have a rooster around. And so I won't be able to breed them to get more babies, right, to be sustainable. If I lived on a farm of some sort or have like my own homestead, then chickens would probably be the best bet, right? Pigs are just really big, and breeding them, I don't even know the first thing about it. I don't even know how that would work, you know, but they need a lot of space, and they're smelly too. They can be smelly because you'll need to get rid of their waste somehow. You know, they're not inherently dirty or anything like that, but you need to put their waste and get rid of their waste somehow and somewhere, and that does cause a problem, especially in my neighborhood. You know, I wouldn't be able to raise a pig in here. Otherwise, what else is there? I raised quail. Yeah, quail. I raised quail for about a year, and I did not enjoy raising the quail because, one, they don't produce a whole lot of meat if you're not breeding them. And I did try to breed them, and I got to a point where I was almost going to be able to hatch them, but instead I just made the fertilized quail eggs and ate them instead. But raising them, I noticed that quail are incredibly aggressive with one another, and I was giving them more space, giving them less space, and just changing out their entire living quarters and area, and I just couldn't get them to be kind to one another, and it was really annoying watching them. I enjoy watching my animals, especially chicken. Chicken are really fun to watch. When I had chicken, I just sat there just watching them for like 30 minutes. And they're just fun to watch. And they did go through a pecking order, but that went away very, very fast. With quail, the pecking order thing just kept going and going and going, and it was so annoying. At one point, the male quails, what they ended up doing was they kept mounting all of the females and just ripping all of their hair out and stuff and just injuring them too much. And so what I ended up having to do was separating the males. But then when I separate the males, they just crow like all day long. Even at nighttime, they would just crow and crow. People say they're not really loud, but they can be really loud. And it doesn't sound like a typical bird, right? But as frequently as they crow, you'll start to notice. Like people around will start to notice and hear them. I can hear the males crow in my shed while I'm inside of my house with the windows closed. It's like very, very faint, but you can hear it. And so yeah, there's really no other animal that I can think of that would make sense to raise as a sustainable meat source for myself, other than rabbits here. So I'm gonna do my best to keep working hard at it and see what comes from this, because I really want rabbit pelts. Like, it'd be so cool to be able to skin these rabbits and get a really nice warm pelt. Like if I can pass down the genetics from both of these, right? And that's what I'm doing. If I can pass down his genetics, Totoro's, and Lila's genetics, be perfect. These two are like prime example of good genetics. Lila appears to be a really good mama so far. She knows what she's doing. And Totoro, he's just really, really, like, he knew what to do exactly when it was time to like breed. The both of them knew what to do. But Totoro is nice because he's just got a really, really thick like fur. And so I'm happy. Castor here, I might be eating you soon, buddy, if you don't get better. So yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. If you have any suggestions, tips, or what I could do to help these rabbits out, you know, stay warm without peeing and pooping in their straw, let me know. Or I might just have to go through that trouble of replacing their straw every single day. But I just don't want them eating it. That's the thing. Just don't eat the straw, bro. Don't do it. It's not nutritious for you anyways. Okay, peace out.